Visual clutter is what is left after you've cleaned and decluttered. I bet if you were to walk around your home right now, you would find areas of your house that are still looking cluttered. I am the same. I'm going to insert some footage so you can see just what I mean. But don't worry, because today I have 13 steps that you can do, practical things that you can implement right now to immediately reduce your visual clutter in your home. Of course, to have less clutter, we all know that we should have less stuff, right? But that's not always possible in real life. So we're gonna make that stuff look as nice as possible. The first tip that I'm gonna share to reduce visual clutter is to corral your items and kind of group them together. So if you've got surfaces and it looks like they have a bunch of stuff on top, what happens is all of those individual items are like, your brain registers them as like an item, an item, an item. Instead, you're gonna put them on a tray, you're gonna put them in a basket, and you're gonna corral them together so that they no longer look like 10 things on your dresser. It's simply gonna be one basket. The beauty of this as well is when that basket does get overflowing, then you know that, okay, now I have too much stuff and I need to declutter this basket. Now, another thing that makes your brain think that things are cluttered is lots of loud colors. And where are the loudest colors in your home? Labels. Those manufacturers want to get your attention. They want you to buy their product, so they're putting loud, colorful labels on all of your products, all of your materials. My advice here is to decant your things. Decant your soaps, decant your lotions, especially if you've got them on display in your kitchen. This will make a huge difference. Same with food packaging. If you can put it away, put it behind something. If you can't, say you want to have like your coffee out on your counter, put it in a nice looking jar. You can get one at the thrift store, no problem. My recommendation though is to just get rid of all of those loud labels and those loud colors where you can, and that will immediately reduce your visual clutter. They have actually proven that the more visual clutter you have and the more your home is cluttered, the less clarity you have. And that's because clutter actually increases cognitive overload and it reduces working memory. So let's get this clutter out of here. So I'm in the living room, and one of the sources of clutter in here that happens all the time is all of our pillows and throw blankets, especially if they're in disarray. One way to immediately make it better is to just fix everything that's on the sofa. You know, I arrange the pillows nicely, I fold the blankets nicely. If we're not using the blankets, I even have a basket and I keep those corralled in that basket. The sofa is so big that if the living room pillows are a mess, it just immediately makes the whole room look cluttered and a mess. Kind of the same with your bedroom. If your bed isn't made, your bedroom also looks like it's not clean, even if it is. Decor is also a huge source of visual clutter. Little knickknacks, you know, we've got this kind of like stuff all over the house, little things from our travels and souvenirs. All of this stuff just causes clutter to your eye and makes it look cluttered. So my advice here is cut down your decor, just have a few things on display. They say that like if you're gonna have a coffee table, put no more than 3 things on it. I mean, you don't really have to follow that rule. That's just what they say. But if you've got lots of decor, then what you could do is you could put some out during like the spring, you know, change it out with the seasons, and then that way your home always feels fresh. Another source of visual clutter is just stuff that doesn't belong. And if you've got kids, I am sure that you have this all over your house because I know I do. I will walk through the living room and I will see a pair of socks on the floor. I will see, this morning I found a film canister on the floor. I don't even know where that came from. Just go around your home and pick up these things that don't belong and get rid of them, and that will immediately reduce that clutter. Honestly, I will take 30 seconds and do this several times a day, and it makes such a huge difference for like no time at all. A while ago, I heard this thing that when you have stuff on the floor, humans perceive that as a threat. I guess just like it's an instinctual threat when you've got stuff on the floor. So knowing this, try to get your clutter up off the floor, whether it's shoes, clothing, piles of things. I know people have like piles of magazines and books on the floor. Just get everything up off the floor. And if you can't quite get it off the floor, put it in a basket. Even though it's like not ideal, it will help so much. And I will say as well, open floors really help a room feel larger. So if you have a smaller home and you get everything up off the floor, the room will immediately appear bigger. Okay, I know that cell phone cords, chargers, adapters, they're everywhere. We all have different versions of phones and different chargers, and everywhere I look, I see tons of cords and cables, and I can't stand it. figure out a way to corral, keep your stuff together. There are some DIY charging stations you can do. Maybe you want to create a drawer where you charge your items. Maybe you even want to purchase a device where you have that you can plug your phone into and you can plug all kinds of different adapters into it. I just purchased one. I'll link it below if you're interested. Even in my kitchen, I simply bought this box that they sold for the sole purpose of putting cords and chargers into. Now, I thought it was weird when I bought it, but I love it. It makes our kitchen look so much neater to just have this box and have all of the cords in it, rather than seeing all of these cords everywhere. Horizontal surfaces are a killer for clutter. My kids and my husband see a flat surface, a horizontal flat surface, and they think, oh, well, this is the perfect place to keep this. And then they just put whatever random thing they have in their hand down there. One way to immediately reduce the visual clutter is just clear off those flat surfaces. I'm telling you, just take a minute right now in whatever room you're in and clear off every single surface. Just wherever you put it. You don't have to put it anywhere specific. Just stick it in another room. And then look around. And let me know in the comments below what you think. I am telling you, it has the hugest ROI, and it immediately makes a huge difference in how clean your home appears. So just try it. Another way to reduce visual clutter is to get rid of excess furniture. We recently actually got rid of a desk in my daughter's room. She wasn't using it. It was just piled up with clutter, and her room is really tiny. So we ended up getting rid of the desk, and it freed up so much space in her room. Her room looks so much cleaner. And literally, we just removed one piece of furniture. Store all your paper in one place, in one pile, wherever it is. Maybe you have a basket where you put your paper. I think that a lot of times people get the mail, people have a piece of paper here, people have a piece of paper there, and then you've got all of these small cluttered areas with paper all over your home. Just put it all together in one place. We have a back table in the back of our house, and I just put all of the paper in a little basket back there. It keeps it corralled. I know that if it's in the basket, I need to do something with it. I go through and I declutter that basket from time to time, but it just has really helped. Word signs used to be super popular. You know, they are cute. I have a bread box that says bread on it. I mean, I know it's a bread box. I don't need it to say bread, but this kind of decor was really trending a few years ago. My advice here, if you are struggling with visual clutter, just get rid of any decor with words on it, because the words, again, are clutter to your eye, and it's just gonna make the room feel cluttered. If you've got too much of one thing on a table, it is going to look cluttered. So if you've got like too many candles all together on the table, or you've got too many plants in an area of your home. I'm probably guilty of this. I have a bunch of plants in the back. I've said this before, but we live in a row house, so I don't have a lot of light in the middle of my home, so I have to keep my plants kind of at the front of the house and the back of the house, but I know I have too many plants and it looks cluttered, even though I love plants. So if you wanna reduce that clutter, then break up that item. Put some candles over here, put some candles over there, same with the plants. My last step to reduce visual clutter is in the kitchen, and it is the kitchen sink. All too often, the kitchen sink during the day, throughout the day, is full of dishes. I mean, people are eating all day long. We can't help it. But if you want to immediately make your kitchen look less cluttered, just empty that sink out. My tip is, when you're washing your hands, just do the dishes at that point. I always feel like, okay, I'm washing my hands are wet, I'll just do the dishes. However you want to do it, just empty out that sink, give the sink a little clean if you want to make it shine, and your kitchen will immediately look less cluttered. Okay guys, those are my tips to immediately reduce visual clutter. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any tips. I would love to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and link a playlist if you're interested on more decluttering advice. Click on it and I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.